Through. Through. So you got my link.
Not yet.
Open up.
Yeah,
Okay, so you can go.
it's working. Okay, it's working fine.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, hello everybody. How are you? This is Andrew Lalo, Lowsutea president. Well, so nice to see all of you again. And this is really a very good webinar to basically provide a lot of our audience about the age that we are target to. Like for example, people over 40 years old. As you know, when you're over 40 years old, body do a lot of changes. A lot of people don't realize not only blood sugar goes up, but also potential cholesterol go up. So today we'll focus why the woman after age 40 cholesterol actually goes up. Now, it is really important because you understand that you start prevent it and you will not able to get into problems in the futures that you will basically have high cholesterol. Let me share with you a real story. This lady, which is only about 58 years old, who came to see me because she's starting getting, elevated blood sugar. And the blood sugar is still not extremely high. It's just close to seven something. But her cholesterol is 4 point something. So it is quite high over the bar because the normal cholesterol should be 2.6. So she doesn't seem to understand why, because she said, "Hey, I've been very careful. I have really actually do a lot of my proper dieting, And when you look at her, she's not overweight. She's actually a pretty, healthy individual. Is not overweight, well balanced, but her cholesterol is high. And she said she was really working hard to, be diet control and make sure that she doesn't get high cholesterol. So when we discuss a little more, then I start realizing, she need to start drinking Lowsutea because her blood sugar is already over 7, and then we'll eventually brought her blood sugar down below 6.4. And notice her cholesterol also start going down. So it get down to 3, eventually went down to about 2.6 and slightly below. So she was very happy. She said, I was really trying hard. I exercise. I have a nice, really controlled diet, but it doesn't come down. But naturally, and today's webinar, I think will help to answer her question, why, even though you have good diet, but not necessary, lower your cholesterol. No, so she, at the end of the day, she also actually on drug therapy, but notice just drug therapy doesn't really bring it down that fast. But drinking Lowsutea, it really maybe the whole package and help her to bring down blood sugar and her blood cholesterol for LDL cholesterol. So I think that was really good, and she is really became a true believer. Hey, I gotta continue to drink my Lowsutea daily, so that way I can continue to bring my blood sugar down, my cholesterol down. So anyway, that's a real example of one of my clients here. So let's start our webinar today. I think it was really good. We do that, and so let's go with it first. Okay, let's bring our slides in. All right, good. So today we are going to have a very informative seminar, webinar, why cholesterol train women after 40 years old. Now, this webinar actually will be very helpful to understand better, then you know how to prevent it. So today the agenda will start off with what is LDL cholesterol, why cholesterol rise after 40 years old, why there's a hormone and heart condition, how they relate, and how a simple, natural way can manage this, high LDL cholesterol and how Lowsutea can help you. And basically, that's our today webinar topic. Okay, I saw a lot of people today who I do not really know them, but that's okay. We'll always get you to catch up. So as you know, everybody go through 4 stages to become diabetes. The first stage is LDL cholesterol goes up. And then when it goes up, it damages the B cell coming out from the pancreas. The B cells will take sugar to the cells. So the sugar don't go in the cells, it continue to circulate in the bloodstream. So the problem will start because LDL cholesterol and also your blood sugar add together, it becomes thick and form plaques. And you slowly continue to do the same lifestyle. Eventually, they're forming this plaque more and more. So your vessels is become less and less space. So you know what? Your next stage, stage 2, your blood pressure goes up. And you basically have no pain, no complaint or anything. So you continue the same lifestyle. You very quickly, in about 1 or 2 years, then you would change to stage 3, which is called diabetic. Now, pre-diabetic, unfortunately, there's no medication for you. The doctor will basically take a blood examination called HbA1c, which is measure of hemoglobin, the amount of blood sugar attached to this hemoglobin. If you're 5.7 and below, you are a normal person. If 5.7 to 6.4, you know what? You are a pre-diabetic. So if once your A1C is 6.4 and above, then you become a diabetic already. So during this change, usually take about 2 to 3 years. Because if you don't do anything, you don't change your lifestyle. Basically, this is what doctor would tell you. You got to change your lifestyle. You have to eat low carb diet, low fat diet. You have to exercise, you lower your weight, and you have to measure yourself all the time. So if you don't do that, you know what? Very quickly, your blood sugar will continue goes up, and then next your blood LDL cholesterol also goes up, and your blood pressure also goes up. So your 3 high goes up. 2-3 years later, you will change to diabetic, and your A1C will continue to march up to 7.5 and up, and then you're going to start medication and you go the whole journey of diabetes. And I don't want you to go there because you know why? When you go there, you have all kind of problems. So why we talk about Lowsutea? Well, Lowsutea has two things there. There's one, the guava leaves, which is delay the blood absorption, sugar absorption into the bloodstream. So you have less sugar in the bloodstream. Second is there is guava leaves. There also second one is bitter melon. When bitter melon, when you take the bitter melon will be increase uh, the insulin sensitivity. So the insulin have more sensitive and take back the sugar to the cells, and the excess sugar, excess LDL cholesterol, and salt will be dumped off through urine. And that's a wonderful thing for bitter melon. And that result, your three high will go down. Your blood sugar will go down, your cholesterol will go down, your blood pressure will go down once the salt come out. Plus, they help you detox. So it's a total natural product. It's a food. It's not a drug. It's just a supplement to help you to drink daily, and you will get your three high lower. It's very simple. Now, certainly, we don't just want you to drink tea. We want you to actually have a total understanding and empower you to go make sure follow all the change lifestyle, able watching how your health progress. So we have a 5 program that help you teach you how to do low carb diet, low fat diet. It teach you how to do exercise, 8 to 10,000 steps. Or you say, hey, I can't do that 10,000 steps. No problem. You buy a Step Master machine. You just do this with a barbell, do a half hour, you get already 300 calorie lost 300 calorie. You can lower your carb and also your weight control. You lower your blood sugar and your weight control. Your BMI has to be low, 23, and again has to exercise and diet control will help you to lower your weight control. If you lower 10%, 10%, your A1C will drop 1 point. So that's simple. 1% of your weight, 10% of your weight, sorry, 10% of your weight. If you drop 10% of your weight, your A1C will drop 1%. For example, if you're 220 pounds, you 10%, 200 pounds, you will have 1% drop your A1C. So certainly every week we have a webinar to help you to better understand. We have 400 something webinars. So you take a picture of this, and this QR code here will show you how to capture all these webinars to understand and listen to that on your free time. You don't have time? Hey, go listen to that. You will get it. And so, or you can just type down this www.youtube.com/@CTTEAS LOWSUTEA/video. So you were able to get all the lectures you want. It's your free time. Okay, let's talk a little bit. What is cholesterol? Now, cholesterol is fatty. It's a fatty substance which your blood actually need. You have to have cholesterol, okay? But you have a good and bad cholesterol. So basically, you also need hormone and the cell to have a healthy body. Okay, so cholesterol is important here. But the sad part is when you have too much cholesterol, there's certain cholesterol like which is the LDL, then you become blocking up your body with all these fat start accumulating. That's the problem. So you gotta make sure you have a balanced cholesterol level, not too high, and basically, especially you don't want to get too much of the bad cholesterol, which is LDL. You want to continue to also build HDL, which is the good cholesterol. So basically, that's the major concept. Okay, so LDL is considered the bad cholesterol because they form plaques everywhere. HDL is a good cholesterol because they help you remove the LDL cholesterol. Plus, there's triglyceride, also another type of fat. But LDL can build, the sad part is can build a lot of fats on the arteries and vessels. And then at the end of the day, you were able to block the blood flow. And then that's where the problem is. So remember, LDL is the bad cholesterol. HDL is good cholesterol. There are two things that you got to remember, okay? So why cholesterol is important? Because high cholesterol, why bad cholesterol is important to you? Because when you have high LDL cholesterol, is increase your heart disease. Because when your heart block the blood flow to a certain part of your heart, your muscles is not going to work. It died. And once the muscle die, you die. So that's why high cholesterol, like with high LDL cholesterol, will help you to increase your heart disease. So, but on the other hand, even your high cholesterol, unfortunately, there is no symptom. You don't feel pain, you don't feel anything. So a lot of time people call this a silent killer, and which is very true. So net result, that's why we want to make sure alert you so you start thinking about working on it. So you want to make sure that prevent your high cholesterol, LDL cholesterol being overly out of control. Okay, so in a sense, as a woman, just like one of my clients, why after age 40? Okay, her cholesterol start going up and the body start changing. Now, remember, at age 4, after age 40, your body starts to change naturally, which is affect how the fat and cholesterol are processed. The reason is because you have a big hormonal changes and everything starts shipping, your metabolism also starts slowing down, your body fat distribution also will be changes. So all these things actually will be affect your whole body and also the cholesterol distribution. One of the major thing is there's a, a, a hormone called estrogen, which play a very important part that can be protective of your heart health. The reason is because estrogen, it maintains the healthy cholesterol balance. It helps to keep the LDL cholesterol low and it'll support the HDL cholesterol increases going up. So net result, they have a balance, and net result, you protect all your blood vessels. So estrogen is extremely important for women after age 40. So because that particular estrogen will help you to keep your LDL cholesterol low. But on the other hand, the sad part is after age 40, a lot of time you're gonna have a lot of women will start getting menopause and the cholesterol level is gonna change. So during menopause time, you will start getting the protective estrogen and start going decrease. You know, estrogen, you will be changing your cholesterol level. So when estrogen decrease, your LDL cholesterol will go to start going up. LDL going, and sad part, the HDL cholesterol also going down. So net result, you have a problem with menopause, and then help you with your cholesterol. And that's a key factor a lot of people don't know. Now, I draw a picture here to show you how the hormone connected to this heart. Why I want to talk about this, because I thought it's so important. You have to understand, when a woman after age 40, because of menopause, the estrogen is going to go down. And then end up, your LDL cholesterol is not going to go up because they are controlling this process or helping the process to maintain your LDL cholesterol being low, but that doesn't work now. Your LDL cholesterol going up. Now, with that, the following time as time goes on, your arterial, your vessel, your blood vessel is going to start forming all these plaques because LDL, remember, it forms plaques, okay? So it cover all these vessels and become more narrow, and all that. So if you don't do anything, you don't check on it, eventually in 10 years or so, you're going to have a tremendous high risk of heart disease. And that's why today I want to make sure you know when your estrogen become lower and lead to high LDL cholesterol, and your blood vessel will start forming plaques every time, everywhere. And over time, you have increased a chance of heart disease. And this is something that you gotta, as a woman, you really need to think about, hey, how am I gonna continue to lower my LDL cholesterol? And also I need to know when I can able to see is it up or down, and we'll discuss how you attract that. Now, the sad part is, as I mentioned, when you have, all these cholesterol start building up, the plaque is going to form, and eventually, if this is all plucked up on your heart, wow, then your heart will stop, because the blood cannot go through, heart muscle at the back here, it will die. So net result, that's where the issue is going to come. So you want to make sure, maintain, they don't block, they don't have less plaques form everywhere, and you have decreased a chance of heart attack and stroke. Now, heart attack is one thing. You also have potential stroke. And potential stroke is not funny, because when you have stroke, you just basically have tremendous physical momentum, movement is being hampered. You may end up to be total bedridden, or you have to have a wheelchair, or you walk difficulty, you can talk. So don't go on that route, because that's not really good. So try to really make sure you don't build a lot of LDL cholesterol. So that is the key. Now, besides your estrogen issue, there are other risk factor, because lifestyle for many family, probably they don't know, they don't really understand, they just continue to live the same old way. But there are a lot of things that can also play a big role for your LDL cholesterol goes up. Well, first of all, weight gain. Because a lot of ladies, you notice when they get down to 40 years old, their weight tend to zoom, kind of get more weight, and really become a much heavier, and a hard time to lower their weight. Okay. So with the weight gain, that is one risk factor. Second, a lot of lady, because even though the weight gain, they don't seem to have more physical activity. They don't walk around, and they just more on sitting, watching more TV. That all bring down to also continue weight gain. That's why I say it's so important at home, even you don't walk, get a step master and get a couple barbell and do this exercise daily, and do 30 minutes. You lower 300 calorie. You do 1 hour. I mean, 300 calories. And if you do it for 1 hour, you basically burn 600 calories, which is very good, right? So you got to do that. And then you have a poor diet. Like a lot of people don't know about cholesterol, so they just eat the same old, same old. They don't eat fibers, they don't eat vegetable. So all that will contribute to your potential high LDL cholesterol, plus genetics. And a lot of people, because your family, your genes tend to transmit to, fall through your whole chain of family trees, right? So if your parents have high, or your grandmother have high cholesterol, the chances you have high cholesterol is higher. So genetic play an important part, also part of the risk factors. So you got to remember that. Now, there's a lot of myths. People tend to say, wow, um, is it only overweight people have high cholesterol? Which is not true, because that's a lot of very thin looking, nice lady also have high cholesterol. And is it really only caused by diet? Which is also not true, because again, my beautiful 50 somewhat lady client, they come in, she looks really good, she looked healthy, but she also tried very hard on diet, but it didn't work. So really, this is somewhat a misconception. And that's really importantly that you have to make sure it's not only overweight people, it's not because of diet, is don't let the looks to kind of confuse you, whereby only these people will get high cholesterol is not, okay? So you need to basically take some real effort to find out. So the facts is that definitely hormones strongly influence cholesterol. In other words, your estrogen going down, your cholesterol most likely can go up. The reason is because they are the one that balancing the LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol. So a healthy woman can also risk of getting high cholesterol. And so you got to have a regular test. In other words, your lipid profile, cholesterol test, and to check it out. You understand what is, are you really having high cholesterol? So cholesterol is actually influenced many factors, not only diet, could be genetic, whatever. So, so those are things that you really have to look. Now, the sign to watch for high cholesterol, unfortunately, there's no sign. And you may feel completely well, no pain, one sign. That's why I said to my 50-something ladies, say, you're right. There's no sign symptom. There's no pain. I know you're trying hard, but guess what? Your cholesterol still go up, right? And how can you find out? Only find out you can do is your blood test. You can do the lipid profile, and that's important. You have to check the LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and the triglyceride. And then how much, when you can check? At least check 1 to 2 years after age 40. And doing your physical check, it's good to check. And if there is actually that indicator is going up, you gotta ask, hey, I need to check more frequently. So every 6 months. And as time goes on, you go further up to like your cholesterol got down to higher range, you may start getting need medication. So that is important. So the doctor will work with you. But important you have to check is your LDL cholesterol. Now, at the end of the day, it's very simple. If you start age 40, actually start doing your simple lifestyle change can basically help you to make all the difference. It's a big difference over time. You can manage and you can lower your cholesterol, LDL, and also help you increase HDL cholesterol. I'll tell you what you do. One, you have to eat more fibers. Now, that's why my friends, my lady friends, she came in, but I found out that she really trying hard on a diet, but it's not a lot of fibers. She eat rice. I said, now you got to cut out rice. You have to have brown rice and red rice because there are a lot more fibers. And also don't eat a lot, eat a little bit. And then you have to choose healthy fats because fats also increase the cholesterol. You also have to reduce your sugar and any processed food. So no more hot dogs. And you got to drink Lowsutea daily to lower the LDL cholesterol. So when she did that, she was amazed her blood cholesterol actually going down, plus her blood sugar going down. And so that is something that you got to do. And you have to continue to do that, upkeep that drinking every day of Lowsutea. And basically also the heart health food, which is food that is good for your heart, like oats, whole grain, nuts and seed, fish, and healthy oil. So you cook mainly with olive oil, eat a lot of fish like salmon, cod, whatever, and you got to have a lot of vegetable, leafy greens. So all these food and help you to lower your LDL cholesterol and support your heart health. And that is so important. Now, changing this diet at age 40 still can be very easy to do. But when you get down 60 and 70, a lot of time I found that a lot of my patients, they seems to have so ingrained for the diet. It took them to change. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort. So at age 40, if you can change that, your diet already with all these nice diet, which I just suggested, you will be very, very healthy and help you out really a lot more than wait to change at age 60 or 65. Okay, now one more thing that you gotta, well, a few more things you gotta do is one, you gotta really have a good day habit. And what's that mean is you have to do exercise every day. As I mentioned, you gotta walk. If you don't want to walk, get a step master, and you can do your exercise with barbell, which is much better because you can expand your lung. You did do this, you actually expand your lung, you move your body up here going up and more air going through your body and you can able to walk at the same time you're a step master. You can watch TV at the same time. You don't feel you kind of waste time, and you have to continue to manage stress, and that is even more important because it's not exercise. Exercise is one thing, but I found that people in Hong Kong, especially, they're very stressful. Executive lady, oh, they're very stressful. So you got to help yourself to manage your stress, to lower because stress tend to increase your cortisol hormone. So that way they give you more sugar. And so when you have many stress, you don't tend to move up all the sugar. So you can able to maintain a better sugar level, plus drinking Lowsutea will definitely help. And you have to get enough sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. Now I found that people who are executive, they tend to sleep very late. They tend to have not enough sleep. Those are things that will help you to increase your blood sugar, LDL cholesterol, and also blood pressure. So lifestyle habits are very important to change all that so you can better manage your LDL cholesterol. That's so important. So anyway, why drink Lowsutea? Because Lowsutea mainly is just a natural herbal drink. It's not a drug. It's just a healthy herbal drink. It support your cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. And basically, there are two things in there. One is called the guava leaves, which delay the sugar going to your blood vessels. And then bitter melon increase insulin sensitivity, take the sugar back to the cells. Excess sugar will dump out to urine, and same thing, dump out LDL cholesterol and salt. So when LDL, sugar, and salt goes up, your three high will go down. Blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, all three go down. So it really give you a overall support your health and well-being of the body. So do drink Lowsutea to help you. So in conclusion, cholesterol naturally after age 40 for a woman, it will goes up because of hormonal changes. The estrogen is the one that you will have issue that you need to look at. Now, when you understand that, so you can now able to start making sure because estrogen going down, you're going to make sure that you can out with lifestyle change to help you to get better health, to decrease your LDL cholesterol rather increase LDL cholesterol. Because estrogen go down, your LDL cholesterol will continue to also goes up. And if you don't take care of that, you will result with heart disease or even stroke. So high cholesterol, as you know, a lot of people don't realize when you're high LDL cholesterol, there are no sign and symptom. There are no issue. You just felt that I'm okay. But if you can able to do regular checking in the doctor office, drawing blood, taking look at your liver, your cholesterol, LDL, HDL, and triglyceride. So now you understand where you're at. And if it's really going up, to over your normal level, you might need to start taking cholesterol pills to lower that cholesterol below to the normal levels. And also with that, you have to continue to change your lifestyle to improve your cholesterol level. Uh, uh, for example, drink Lowsutea daily to lower the LDL cholesterol plus your sugar. You need to have good diet, meaning that more vegetable or greens, more fibers, and not necessarily eating a lot of red meat. You need more fish. You have to exercise. You have to sleep 7 to 8 hours and decrease or manage your stress. That all these things will definitely make a difference for you. And if you change all that, you will actually help to protect your heart and also not create an issue for you, potential a stroke. So aware of take early actions, meaning if age 40, you can start doing that. At age 80 or 90, you are extremely healthy. Your three high is not high over there. I strongly believe if you lower your blood sugar level is normal, your blood cholesterol LDL is normal, high HDL, low LDL, your blood pressure normal, the chances you can live very, very long is very good. Certainly, you still need to watch other things such as cancer and so forth. But if three high goes up, pretty much many of the major disease, you basically decrease the risk extremely lower your risk to naturally get, this type of other disease. But at least you are able to now protect your heart and also decrease the risk of stroke. Okay, today is my lectures. I hope that will give you a good idea why at woman after age 40 you gotta watch. And if you need more information, do write to me. I'm Andy, ANDY, at WAHFONG.com. Andy at WAHFONG.com, or WhatsApp me. 852 country code 6792-8891. 852-6792-8891. And so thank you very much for spending time this weekend. I hope that you're going to have a wonderful weekend. And remember how to lower your cholesterol, changing the lifestyle. That's very important for your heart and prevent the risk of stroke. Okay, you take care. Thank you again. See you next week. Oh, by the way, next week is no webinar because of Hong Kong had Easter holiday. So I will see you on the week of April 11th. Take care. Bye-bye.